The poor bright candidates will not be able for joined graduate courses in commerce. This is an easy one. This one, because you have able, one is able to do something or one is not able to do something. So obviously the only option that gives us that correctly is able to join, option 3. This is an easy one, right? You are able to do something. It always takes up verb 1. Joins, incorrect. Joining, not needed. Joins in, again, incorrect. So this is the only way through which employee can putting their demands before management. If you look at the underlined phrase, it's employee can putting, and then you have there, which means it has to be more than one employee. So we'll have to look at anything that gives us employees. So I can quickly eliminate option 2, but then will puts is incorrect, right? Because when you have a modal verb, it always follows with a verb 1. So putting and puts is out. Obviously it has to be option 4. This is the only way through which employees can put their demands before management. It has to be option 4. It's an easy one. It's not a very difficult one actually. So the first one is, if you look at the question, it says she insisted to go there though her husband cautioned her on it, and the underlined phrase is to go, and our options are ongoing, upon going, going, and no improvement. So according to you, do you think that the given option is correct as it is? And would you choose option 4, or do you feel that we need to change that to go to one of the other 3 options that we have? What are your thoughts? What do you feel? Collocations are associated words that go together. It's a combination of 2 or 3 words, right? And why are they called collocations? Because people generally use them repeatedly in different situations, right? It's like saying natural disaster, widely accepted, strong tea, right? I'm just giving you examples of collocations because people use this word goes with this word, right? So one of our very basic rules when it comes to spot the error is we say all the adjectives ending with IOR will be combined with to. For example, prior to, superior to, inferior to, junior to, senior to, right? So you have different types of collocations. What the combination that I gave is adjective plus preposition collocation. So there are different types of collocation. So it's very helpful for not just spot the error or sentence improvement questions. It's also very helpful for close passage or any other question type for that matter, right? Okay, let's get back to the question. So basically I have all the options, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's go back to the question. Now one of the collocations is we always insist, that's our clue word from the answer, okay? We always insist on doing something. So that's the collocation, right? This is a verb plus preposition collocation. Yeah, you could say phrasal verbs are also collocations. Yeah? You will not say it's a type of phrasal verb. You say phrasal verb is also a collocation. Okay? So you insist on doing something. So in the given context, she insisted on this person going there, right? Though her husband cautioned her on it. So her husband is saying, her husband probably was warning her, I don't think you should go there, I don't think it's a good idea. But whoever this person is, she must be a friend, she insisted on going there. So because this is the collocation, you always insist on doing something. And if you look at this, it's insist on plus ing form. Yeah? So having said that, the answer is option 1. So this is something that you need to remember. So one of the usual collocations, just like superior to, inferior to, right, prefer to, it's insist on. Okay, that's another collocation. Now let's move on. So as a rule, you need to just remember as many collocations as possible because it will help us in identifying the right answer option without wasting time, right? Now we're going to look at something extremely, so these are very basic questions, but it's helpful for us to, that's what I said, it's helpful for us to register certain basic concepts with respect to spot the error. Yeah? You will come to my party tomorrow, will you? The underlined phrase is will you. As soon as you look at this question, you know it's obviously the concept is question tag, and we have some options. Now which one would be appropriate? I'm assuming most of you would be familiar with question tags. You know the form, you know the construction. Because that's the collocation. You insist on doing something. You guys are very, very clear with your concept with respect to question tags. So all of you have given me the same options. Okay. So this one is pretty easy. Yeah. Because we're saying, we all know that question tags, a positive statement will have a negative question tag. Obviously, now this is a positive statement and the negative question tag. We never say will not you. Will not is contracted to won't. Obviously, it is won't you. So this is a very basic rule. All of you seem to be very clear with your question tag concept, and usually the same subject is what is repeated in the tag as well, right? There was a roll of drums. The only underlined phrase is roll, and the other options that we have is roll as in a part, and then roll and troll, and then no improvement. Now, sometimes for questions like this, what can happen is you may not know the meaning of other words, right? The given words. I'm assuming roll you know, option 1. But what about option 2 and option 3? Do you know what the meaning of drawl or troll is? Anybody? But I hope you guys understand the meaning of these options, drawl and troll. What's drawl, anybody? Do you have any idea? Have you heard this word before? See, in English, one word can have different forms, right? Like there's a verb form, there's a noun form. It's called word class. Word class means one word having different forms. There's an adjective form for the word, there's an adverb form for the word. So this word, option 2, drawl, right? If you look at it as a noun form, it's like I would say a buffoon. But if you look at it as an adjective form, it means funny, humorous, okay? In case you didn't know the meaning. What about troll? Let me go back to the options. What about option 3? Do you know what the meaning of troll is? So what's the meaning of option 3? T-R-O-L-L. Troll in fantasy movies. It's basically a very funny looking creature. It's a creature, right? Either it's portrayed as a giant or it's portrayed as a dwarf. It'll come in tales, folklores, you know, things like that. That's a troll. Now, this is a noun form. So, given the, can you identify, there's a clue word in the given sentence. Let me go back to the question. Can you identify the clue word in the sentence? There was a roll of drums. So, roll we know, a part, right? Drawl we know, we just said, we saw 2 meanings. The noun form was like a jester or a buffoon. Okay, the adjective form is something to do with being funny, humorous, right? And then troll, I said again, is a noun. It's I would say it's a folklore creature, either projected as a giant or a dwarf, extremes. Okay? Yeah. So now that we know the meanings, the clue word is drums itself. Right? Usually, again, this is to do with collocations. Have you heard drum roll? Drum roll. When do they do a drum roll? A drum roll is usually done before you want to make an announcement. So, hey, listen up. In the villages, or if they want to make an announcement, they usually, you know, try to get everybody's attention first. Hey, listen up, this is news, this is what's happening tomorrow, or this is what's happening today in the evening, all of you come and be there, we want all of you to be there, available, blah, 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 right? So a drum roll is the collocation. So the given context, there was a roll of drums, is absolutely fine as it is, because, let me go back to the question, like I said, drum roll is a collocation in itself. So ROLL associated with drums is fine as it is. You don't have to make any changes because none of the given options logically fit the context. Now that we know the meaning, yeah, ideally the answer is no improvement. So I'm guessing most of you did not arrive at the answer because you were not familiar with the meaning of the given options, and you were not also probably familiar with the collocation, drum roll.